First one being our long-standing residential new build. Then we move on to the third one, next Thursday after us, which is a new retrofit for social housing. And finally, last Thursday of the month will be a non-residential CPD. So today we're going to go through a little introduction to wastewater heat recovery, what it is, why we use it, and who uses it. Then we're going to delve into the products and installation of sort of our three main areas, our three main sort of product areas. Then James is going to take you through a few schematics for installations, go through some points of discussion, and then if anyone else has any questions, feel free to ask them at the end. So what is wastewater heat recovery? So what we do is we take the waste from the shower. That then is connected to a heat exchanger. Fed from the bottom of that heat exchanger is a cold inlet. Within the heat exchanger, the warm water that leaves the shower waste then is transferred, and then we send that transferred preheat to either shower and or boiler or other heat source. So why use? Well, it gives you a large energy and CO2 reductions, especially in new build, where it's very easy to design in. We have there predominantly first floor showers and SVPs that are easy to tap into for us. As we say, within new build, it is a very cost effective and simple way for Part L compliance. When you put it against other systems such as PV or air source heat pumps or a lot. So it's going to offer significant hot water reductions. A couple of ways really. It's going to lessen the amount of domestic hot water used per shower, and because we can send the preheat back to that water heater or boiler, it's going to mean that less energy is required to produce that hot water. So it's a double-edged sword. The great thing about wastewater heat recovery, it is a passive system. It can't be switched off, it can't be removed, it's always going to work for you. The end user is unlikely to even know it's going to be there. It's got no moving parts. And as I said previously, very easy to design in, very few limitations, especially, as I say, with new build where you've got that sort of blank canvas for us. Lifespan wise, it's got a very large lifespan, 40 to 60 years on our vertical products. Our horizontal ones are generally rated about 25 years. That's mainly because they haven't been in the industry that long. Very low in body carbon. We have a cradle to cradle manufacturing. It's a highly recyclable product. We offer recycling on any sort of damaged products, any damages that happen on site or anything like that. We offer a £75 credit to help with the recycling. So who uses? Well, as I said, they're quite a lot. Mainly, it is new build developments. That is mainly for Part L compliance, but it has real world advantages as well. So anywhere generally where there's a high level of shower traffic, so hotels and student accommodation, sports and leisure facilities are probably where we find our greatest return on investment because you have that high level of showering. And also we're getting into the retrofit and social housing upgrade market. We find that it is a great product for this, reducing demand on hot water. So we're going to go through our products now. I'll have a little drink. So wastewater heat recovery generally comes in either vertical or horizontal systems. Now our vertical systems, because of their nature, because of the size of them, are going to offer a slightly higher efficiency. Right, so let's go. So as we can see here, this is the vertical pipe hex. It is a full floor to ceiling heat exchanger. Comes with two boxes. You've got the 2.1 meter exchanger and then your ancillary kit. Within that ancillary kit, you see you have the turbo rotator, which is a very important piece of kit, which we will explain a little bit more in a little while. You've also got 2 brackets to mount it and some waste connections. You can see there that in each end of the pipe hex you have an end cap. This just stops damage in transit. Now what we'd recommend is that you keep that end cap in until installed on the wall. So you can see here, James, putting the connections in before vertically mounting it. We would strongly recommend that as well. So 1/2 inch connections, 1/2 inch male connections, female connections even, going in. That you would come straight off to. We recommend that you do not use more than 30 Newton meters of pressure when you're installing these to stop cross threading. You should see 1 on each end of the unit there. On the unit itself, you have a serial number, batch number on the SAP label that needs to be suitably located, more than likely in the area around the heater itself. And then you've got the registration documents. Okay, so let's see this vertically mounted on the wall. So as you see, you have 2 mounting brackets that come with the unit. We recommend they will be spaced about 1500mm apart. We've got them there on wooden timber battens. As you see there, James has got it mounted plumb vertical. That is very, very important to get that plumb vertical. If you do not get that plumb level, it will massively affect the efficiency of the item. You want to, when you're tightening up the feed connections, you want to support so as not to twist the internal aspects of the heat exchanger. You'll see at the bottom, at the top, you have your waste connections. This is 43mm, solvent at the top and push fit at the bottom. Oops. So that turbo rotator at the top, there's a 60mm solvent insert into it. Now you want to make sure that you insert all the way in, and then just a connection straight on to the waste. Okay, we'll take a closer look at those connections now. So as we can see the bottom of the unit. So you need some additional products with the wastewater heat recovery. You're going to need that drain off valve, double check valve, and then 2 full bore isolation valves to isolate the unit for any potential end of life or pressure testing needs. A closer look there at the turbo rotator. This is a very clever piece of kit. It rotates the water down the heat exchanger, giving us a thin film heat exchange, thus increasing efficiency. You can also see there on the pre-insulated pipework, once it's left, we can insulate that and mark it pre-insulated so we don't want anyone to tap into that after. But you must not insulate the wastewater heat recovery unit itself. So this is mostly going to be put in a box in with that soil vent pipe. It fits in a nice boxing area around 400 by 200 millimeters. As we say, you must not insulate the unit itself, but certainly can insulate the SVP. We've seen that quite often segregated out, or just lagging wrapped around the soil pipe itself. So as you say, that is the vertical pipe hex, which is our most common product, especially in new build developments, where it can tap into that first floor shower. So we've got a little video here that's going to show, ooh, pardon me, there we go. Let's try that again. It's going to show what that turbo rotator does. If it wants to play. There we go. Shows how it circulates it down the heat exchanger, allowing us that thin film heat exchange, promoting high efficiency. So one thing to say, we have a double-walled heat exchangers in all of our products, conforms to EN 1717. Great thing about that, it allows us to trap before the unit. So you don't have to trap afterwards, meaning there's very little muck as such going down the unit itself. All hair catchers beforehand. So all you've got going through the smooth 50mm heat exchanger in the pipe hex is your water, is your waste water. The great thing about copper, obviously, it's a great thermal conductor. It's antimicrobial as well. So we're going to move on to the next product, which is a bit of an upgrade on the pipe hex. It is the pipe hex active. Pipe hex active was introduced to allow the efficiency of the pipe hex, but on a same floor installation. So what we've done is we've teamed up with Saniflow and added a Sani shower grey water pump to this item. So it's turned it into a pumped upgrade kit. So it's going to allow it to have a same floor installation. As you can see, it is quite flexible in that you can place this pump within a couple of meters of the waste and within a meter or so of the wastewater heat recovery unit itself. So basically, the unit, the wastewater goes into the pump itself, where it has a small capacity to hold. That then is pumped up at high volume up to the buffer. A buffer tank, again, keeps a small volume in there, and inside that is the turbo rotator inbuilt that basically is going to allow that water to go down the pipe hex as if it was just a standard gravity-fed installation. So as you can see there, same efficiencies as our standard pipe hex, but just allows that to go on the same floor. Same ancillary products required again, couple of lever valves, double check valve to prevent that backflow, irons out exactly the same size, 1/2 inch, waste connections again, 43mm, solvent and push fit. Right, so that brings us on to our first horizontal product, which is the EasyFit Plus. So the EasyFit Plus, here we go. So a 90mm height means that it fits under most voids in baths. The only thing you might have to consider is if the bath has a central leg. So you can see on our display unit there, we've actually bridged the central leg by putting the bridging set on. So with this unit, it obviously being a horizontal unit, not under standard sort of gravity itself, you need a 30 to 40mm fall across the unit itself. And obviously with this unit as well, it's another contraflow unit, so you have cold inlet going in one side, preheated coming out the other end, and then you've got the warm wastewater going in the opposite way. You see that, same with all our products, same ancillary products required, double check valves, lever valve, full bore and 1/2 inch irons as well. As before, you want to support those fittings when you're tightening up. You don't want to use any more than 30 Newton meters of pressure again. We recommend sort of liquid PTFE or liquid sealant. As you can see on there as well, the preheated exiting is insulated. as James is checking there, you want to make sure that is plumb vertical across the horizontal of the unit. Right, we'll look a little bit closer. So as you can see on our setup here, we've got a pair of bath pillars and a TMV shower above the bath. So coming through, exiting the unit, you'll see the preheated cold leaving. Coming up through, we've got a T on there at the moment, so this is going teed off to the cold side of the mixer, with the other half of the T potentially going off to the boiler or cylinder. This would be a System A installation. We will tell you a bit more about the installation types in a minute. Just another little point of note on the waste connection. So these are, we have an Osmo waste connection coming from the end of our units. We'll take push fit and solvent pipe. However, solvent pipe is a little bit tight on it, so you do want to chamfer the end. Make sure you use plenty of lubricant on the end. So one of the great things about the EasyFit Plus is it is reversible, so you can have, it doesn't really matter which side your waste connections are and feed. It could go either way round, as this side here shows. I say 90 to about 100mm installation height underneath the bath. We certainly would not recommend it going in the floor voids or anything like that. We recommend that all wastewater heat recovery be in a reasonable, accessible location. So now we're going to move on to our linear drain option. We have 3 different options, but they all work in a very similar way. So here we have the Drain Plus HE. It comes with 2 cover plates, a tiled and a stainless steel, so for different options, whether you want to keep the floor system the same all the way through. So underneath that you have the percolation plate, so water goes through, you'll see this specifically designed holes going through to take it through to our heat exchanger. Now again, adjustable legs on this product, you want to make sure that you use those legs and get this nice and level. And once again, you've got the same products required as well. So you've got 1/2 inch feeds coming out of this. You want your male lines to come out. Isolation valves and double check valves to prevent backflow. These are the sort of products that we see in gyms the most. That's where you're going to get your highest return on sale. You get around about up to 57% efficiency through them. You'll see on the top there we have the waste outlet. So it comes as a couple of options really. What you can see on the top of the product there is the vertical waste outlet for if you want it to go straight out and down through. But you also see to the side, sorry James, you've got the standard horizontal waste, and that waste can be put in a 360-degree angle for whichever way helps your installation. So that's our current range. We'll say we are now partnered with Colin Myra, and we certainly have got some new product development coming for 2024, some very exciting products on the way that will help new build, that will help retrofitting, as well as non-residential products. Ooh. So at this point, I'm going to pass off to my colleague James, who's going to take you through some installation.
Yes, hello. Good. So here we are. My turn now. A bit of a cold, so apologies if I sound a bit stuffy. But yeah, I've got a few videos to watch, and then some diagrams and things to look at as well. So to start off with, if I can find the arrow. Here we go, the arrow, the cursor. Just going to show this installation method video. So as Chris mentioned, there's 3 installation methods that do affect efficiency, and I've made a little video here, it's only a couple of minutes long, just to outline the differences in that. The full range of Recoup wastewater heat recovery systems can be installed in System A, B or C configurations, giving options for installation with various efficiencies. With each of the products and system types, the efficiency will also be affected by the shower flow rate. Design shower flow rates must be observed. This video will look at each system type using a single shower feeding into a pipe hex. Multiple showers can feed into a single wastewater heat recovery system, with further guidance available on the website. With all system types, the connected shower must be a thermostatic mixer shower with balanced mains pressure supplies. System A supplies preheated water to the cold feed of the thermostatic mixer shower and the cold feed of the water heater. The water heater can be a combination boiler, unvented hot water cylinder of any heat source, thermal store or heat interface unit. System A is the most efficient system configuration, offering up to 60% energy reduction. However, if more than one wastewater heat recovery system is to be installed in a property, only one can be supplying preheated water to the water heater. Additional units must be installed as System B configuration. System B supplies preheated water to the cold feed of the thermostatic mixer shower only. It is the least efficient system configuration, but still reduces energy consumption by around 50% with a pipe hex installation. It is typically only used on secondary wastewater heat recovery systems when more than one is installed within a property, or with retrofit installations where major pipework alterations are not feasible. System C supplies preheated water to the cold feed of the water heater only. It is the middle efficiency system configuration, and just like System A, only one wastewater heat recovery system can supply preheated water to the water heater, meaning additional units must be installed as System B configuration. System C is the least common, and is usually specified where the pipework length between the wastewater heat recovery system and the shower valve would be more than the maximum 4.75 metres, preventing a System A or B installation. An example of this may be a townhouse with one bathroom above another, with a pipe hex on the ground floor. 4.75 metres pipe length in 15mm copper is to limit the volume of preheated water that is left in the pipework between showering, maintaining a low Legionella risk. The preheated water pipework volume between the wastewater heat recovery system and the water heater is not a concern, however, as the water heater should be set to increase the temperature to above 60 degrees Celsius. Where SAP calculations have specified the system type for the wastewater heat recovery installation, this must be followed, as failure to do so could mean the property does not comply with Building Regulations Part L or its energy efficiency requirements. So, here we go, some key points from that one then. Any of the product range can be installed System A, B or C, but only one within a property can be installed as A or C, with additionals as System B. It's just to ensure that you get flow through the products. If you have 2 installed as System A, there's nothing to say that it will pull through both of them and you end up with water, stagnant water in the products. Yes, we can fit multiple showers to one, which increases, decreases the cost and uses the efficiency across 2 showers, so it can make a real impact. There must be thermostatic mixer showers, and they must be on mains supplies as well. And where a system type is specified by a house builder, it must be followed at risk of not meeting the energy requirements for the property. And you can see at the bottom there some efficiencies at different flow rates. So the flow rate of the shower usually now is around about 8 litres per minute. So you can see roughly efficiency there on that, but if the shower flow rate is increased, then it does drop efficiency. Right, another video here for multiple showers. Let me just take you onto that one as well. Where multiple showers are located close together or above each other within a property, it may be that they could benefit from energy savings while being connected to just one single wastewater heat recovery system. The limitations would be the draw-off length between the wastewater heat recovery system and the shower valve, and the design shower flow rates. When connected to System A, the maximum combined shower flow rate is 16 litres per minute, as the wastewater heat recovery system is supplying preheated water to both the shower cold feeds and the hot water source. If a flow rate greater than 16 litres per minute is required, and any SAP calculations that may be in place allows, then a System C configuration could be considered. With the preheated water supplying only the hot water source in this case, the combined shower flow rate can be up to 24 litres per minute. If the hot water source is a considerable distance from the wastewater heat recovery system, then System B configuration could provide a solution to supply preheated water to the cold feed of the showers only, again allowing for a combined shower flow rate of 24 litres per minute, but with a lower SAP score and efficiency. As with the single shower installation, preheated water pipework between the wastewater heat recovery system and the shower cold feeds should not exceed 4.75 metres total length in 15mm pipework. Wastewater pipework from each shower into the wastewater heat recovery system should not, where possible, exceed 3 metres to minimise heat loss before entering the wastewater heat recovery system. Multiple wastewater heat recovery systems may be required where multiple showers are installed within a property but are not close together. Only one wastewater heat recovery system can be connected as System A or C system configuration, and additional units should be connected as System B configuration. Consideration should be given to which shower we use the most and their distances from the hot water source when choosing the primary shower to connect as System A or C. Please contact us if you need additional information or guidance on multiple showers being installed within a property with wastewater heat recovery systems. Excellent. So there we go. So if they're nice and close together, we can connect two into one. Where they're not close, one is A or C and the additional as B. There is some restriction on flow rates there, and there is a 4.75 metres still as a max pipe length between the heat recovery system and the shower cold feed, which we'll go into a bit more detail a bit later on. 3 metre maximum pipe length on the waste is just about heat loss, and it also in line with document H. So, some schematics here. So these make things look nice and easy as far as what valves are included and where everything goes. So looking at System A here with a cylinder. So System A with a cylinder, you can see if you look at the inlet control set of the cylinder that the balanced cold connection has been capped off. So the reason for that is if we're supplying preheated water around 20 to 25 degrees Celsius, we don't want then that to be drawn off to the cold outlets. So if you look back at the cold main coming into the property, we go for a stopcock, double check valve, drain off valve as standard. An additional pressure reducing valve then gets installed before taking a tee off to the balanced cold at that point. So that will go and serve all the cold outlets. A separate supply then runs directly through our wastewater heat recovery system with the valves already mentioned there for isolation and another double check valve, to then supply the preheated water to the shower and the water heater. So System B, kind of nice and easy, standard setup I suppose, with the hot water cylinder here as much as the cold feed goes straight to it, and the balanced cold connection of the combination valve can be used. Still, from the cold main, still looking at some additional components there. The additional pressure reducing valve, it just reduces the pressure or regulates the pressure going into our product there to keep it all nice and sensible. Additional components, again as mentioned, double check valve, isolation valves, and you can see the System B here then just going off to feed the cold side of the thermostatic mixer. And then System B, so back to that arrangement where we're supplying preheated water to the water heater, again capping that balanced cold connection because preheated water and not cold, and the balance cold for the cold outlets being taken off before the wastewater heat recovery system. So useful to see it in schematic form, and if these are of any particular interest, then just let us know and we can give you access to these. An example here of what we tend to see from house builders if you're not seeing them already, drawing wise. So you can see on here we got identified the cold main coming. I have to look up here, it's a little bit larger. The cold main coming in and supplying the kitchen sink, additional pressure reducing valve then going on, it rising to above and going across to feed the wastewater heat recovery system indirectly then to our cylinder. You can see the T here is taking off in the sealing void, so after the pressure reducing valves off the cold main. The balance cold connection T is off in the floor here, so it picks up the colds, and you can see the supply coming to our wastewater heat recovery, coming off preheated in pink. So just an example of what we sort of expect to see from the house builders for you guys for tendering and installation. With combination boiler, this is the system A installation here, so you can see the preheat coming out of the top of the pipe hex, teeing off within the sealing void, supplying the combination boiler and up to the shower. Tend to see this in 22mm pipe, reducing down at the boiler end to 15 through the through the scale reducer if it's been specified for installation there, and 15mm up to the shower. Outside of house builder drawings, the main house builders who are supplying these, if you've got a project, a smaller project for a smaller builder, developer, and you need a bit of guidance, then you can always email the plans over to us, and like it's shown here, we can identify what may be suitable for installation and location and things like that. So yeah, contact us if you need a bit of a hand. So a few things to discuss here. This comes up a couple of times from installers. There's a 1/2-inch connection onto our products. So connection size wouldn't so much make a difference, it's what is passing through within the product, but this is known, this pressure drop is known by the M&E designers, and it's all calculated in and figured in, which is why we tend to see 22mm pipe work even on combination boiler installations, to have any pressure drop within the whole system to be just within our product as opposed to on the pipe work as well. So that being said, you can see here 9 litres per minute. With the system A on a hex, we've got a 0.39 bar pressure drop, which realistically doesn't make a huge difference, but it is there and it is known, and it is usually calculated out and as deemed as acceptable. So as long as you've got a decent mains incoming pressure, shouldn't really notice much difference between balance colds and hot following going through our products. Closer look at this turbo rotator, as Chris mentioned earlier. It's got 60mm insertion depth on the solvent weld side, so plenty of glue on there, slight twist as you put it in, you shouldn't really experience too many problems with that. Because it is a glued connection, if you do then do your drain testing and experience an issue with that, just get in touch with us. Don't take the whole pipe off the wall and send the whole lot back. Give us a call from site, and we can post directly out replacement parts to you. Again, with the preheat supply tape, some merchants do stock this, but if you're looking to get it direct from us, then you can, to identify the preheated water. So, as Chris mentioned, all the pipework must be insulated, but don't insulate the wastewater heat recovery system itself. So it must be allowed to cool as quickly as possible. Pressure testing our products. All our products can be pressure tested up to 10 bar. I know a lot of the pipe work in a lot of new build installations requires to be pressure tested at 18 bar. So all we say is take it up to 10 bar, because we've installed isolation valves on the inlet and outlet of our products, is isolate those at that point and then increase the test pressure of the pipe work. Obviously you must make sure to release that pressure before opening the valves back up to subject then our products to the higher pressure. Once you've one thing to note about that is once you've isolated the product at 10 bar, the pipe work between the wastewater heat recovery system up to the shower and back to the cylinder wouldn't necessarily increase in pressure and might require some linking over of pipes in the cylinder cupboard and such to ensure that you're increasing that pipe work further on, especially with the system B where it is just supplying the shower only. So pipe sizing. So mentioned a few times this 4.75 meters up to the shower from the wastewater heat recovery system. So that all stems from a third-party Legionella risk assessment that was conducted some time ago for all of our products. And it's all about keeping the pipework volume low between the wastewater heat recovery system and the shower outlet in between showering. So if we're looking at system B, as we've shown on the screen here, supply just to the shower valve, 15mm pipe, because it's typically the size of the inlet of the shower, 4.75 meters. We've got a pipe volume there of 0.7 litres, which when the shower is operated, that would quickly pull that through much quicker than the set time that it must be then below 20 degrees for Legionella compliance. System C here, back to the water heater only, isn't a concern for as far as Legionella is concerned, as the water heater will pasteurize that water as it passes through. It will increase the temperature above the range of Legionella bacteria growth. So that length of pipe work from a Legionella point of view, lengthwise, is not a concern. That could be, in theory, as long as you needed it to be. So when we get to system A, slightly more complicated, feeding the shower and the water heater. Keeping the volume low. So ultimately with the system A, what we'd be looking to do is install the T that goes off to supply the shower as close to the wastewater heat recovery system as possible and use that 4.75 meters up to the shower. If you were to run across, as shown on the calculations in the middle there, if you were to use 22mm pipe, a couple of meters of 22 gives the same volume already as the whole 4.75 meters of 15. So it's not to say it can't be done, but it falls within our Legionella risk assessment to keep everything as a very low risk, well below the low risk. So resources wise, everything's available on the website. So if you go onto the individual products on there, all of the installation manuals and technical documents can be downloaded from there. Also on the website we've got the knowledge base, so if you've got any questions you can type them into there and usually there is an answer come up for any questions that you might have. Failing that, obviously you can email in. Loads of videos on YouTube, all of our installation videos and the quick videos that I showed you here today. All of the CPDs that we do across the month are all recorded and put onto YouTube, so if you need to look back or look at any others, you can do on there. Obviously our CPDs, one every Thursday at 12:30. Feel free to join any of the others there if you need a bit more guidance on retrofitting or some regulation stuff as opposed to this technical one. We've got a learning site on the website, so a bit more structured learning through signing on to that. It's all free. This is where we are today, so pretty useful. Several cameras in here, so if we have any questions on site we can jump down here, get onto video call and run through things with installers as required. So product codes, where can we get these products from? So all the main merchants stock our products, and these are the product codes for Wolseley City Plumbing Jewsons and UKPS. So if you have a facility, if it's a particular interest of you in the immediate, then feel free to screenshot those product codes while they're up there. But ultimately, that's where you can procure our products from, get prices using those product codes. All my details on here, so I deal with any issues and queries from installers on site, and I also deal with the product returns as well. So if you guys have any questions, you can come straight to me on that. Certainly any technical bits from site I can help you out with on those contact details. So for attending our CPDs, we do what we call CPDs for trees. So following this, we'll send you out a copy of this CPD, a recording of the CPD, a feedback form, which if you can fill in and send back to us, we then fund planting of some trees or improving some grassland or wild areas. So do fill in the feedback forms and send them back. And that is it. That's all I've got to speak with you guys about. We will hang around for 5 or so minutes. If you have any questions, then feel free to fire them at me now. But otherwise, thank you for coming. Okay, great. I haven't had any questions come in. I'll just check the chat as well. Can't see any in there. So hopefully we've already answered everything, any questions that you might have. But if once you leave, if you have any questions that you think of, then yeah, feel free to email in and we shall do our best to support you. But yeah, otherwise we hope to see you on some of our other CPDs.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.